A key pillar of Donald Trump's justification for striking alleged drug boats on the high seas is that we are in an armed conflict. On October 1st, 2025, with an initial War Powers Resolution notice on September 4, President Trump formally notified Congress that the U.S. is in a NIAC, non-international armed conflict, with these cartels, treating them as non-state armed groups, conducting hostile actions and irregular warfare against the U.S. The notice describes cumulative drug smuggling, especially fentanyl, as an armed attack on U.S. sovereignty, killing Americans via overdoses and funding cartel violence, analogized to chemical warfare or terrorism. While these are criminal activities and have been recognized as such, they've never been considered armed conflict in this sense. And he's saying he has the unilateral authority to say that. In essence, he is saying we are in an armed conflict because he said we are in an armed conflict. That's a tautology. But there are actual legal conditions for this, per the Geneva Conventions and customary international humanitarian law, which the U.S. is bound by. For these conditions to meet, there must be protracted armed violence using actual military forces, and they must be an organized, non-state armed group. At least one party must be a structured entity capable of planning, sustaining attacks, with command hierarchy and discipline, and the ability to carry out military operations. To be in an actual armed conflict, cartels would have to meet both of these conditions, and they meet neither. Just declaring drugs are a weapon doesn't make them so. It's worth pointing out that they are still criminal organizations committing crimes, but they aren't terrorist groups engaging in armed conflict for political means. They are an international criminal organization, and they do very bad and violent things, but their goals are money, not politics. And they just aren't engaging in warfare with American forces, which is what armed conflict means. This is part 2 in a series of articles on this topic. Check the description for the link.